Hey guys. Okay, so I wanted to do a whip and chat. I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. My nails are still short. I'm actually going to be doing them tomorrow. I'm working on this. This is a geisha. I picked this up from Amazon. It is very pretty. It is working up very fast. It is working up, like I said, very fast and even faster because I think it's gorgeous and I can't wait for it to be finished. Speaking of, Memoirs of a Geisha is like one of my favorite books to read and reread. I've seen the movie, obviously. I actually took Japanese in high school for a semester. Really loved it. Got into the culture. Got into it. But haven't retained anything. High school was years and years and years ago. So sorry for the super duper close up. I just really was in the middle of doing this. Like I just started this section and then I was just like, let me get on here. I kind of want to chit chat. Haven't done one in a while, but I really wanted to talk to you guys about, okay, so backstory. I got sick. I got sick last week. I got COVID and I don't know when I got it. Obviously, no one ever knows. I mask at work. I mask when I go into stores. The whole thing. I don't mask when I go out to events, and I don't mask like if I go to a restaurant with my boyfriend. Most of the time, if it's crowded in the waiting area, we go outside. We wait in a car. And in the rest, or like, like when I went to Atlantic City for my birthday, I didn't mask because we weren't close to anyone. It was just he and I that were like hanging out. It was like the middle of the week. So that was in March. Okay. So, I do know that I went to kind of like two things, the beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May. So it might have been those things. But that's okay. It is what it is. I'm vaccinated. So as far as like I should do this. I should work while I talk because that's the whole point, right? As with the whip and chat is actually doing stuff. I talk with my hands a lot though. So that's what happens. So, I'm vaccinated. So what happened is vaccination doesn't stop you from getting sick. It helps you that when you do get sick, you don't get as sick. Okay. So I tested positive on the 15th, which was Sunday. I basically started having like a cough, like a slight cough, like an annoying, like, like that, like a throat clearing cough on Friday. And so that was Friday. By Saturday, I was having a cough, but it was kind of almost like one of those coughs that catch you off, like if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, you're coughing. But it's just a more serious throat clearing. So Sunday came around, and mind you, I worked on Friday, I worked on Saturday, and at Saturday I was just like, okay. I got home Saturday and I was like, yeah, I don't know, this is not cool. So because I wasn't feeling well, normally I pick up my boys on Saturday. I did not, because I was like, you know what, I'm not feeling well, and I just wasn't sure. And they go to school. I don't want to disrupt their school. And, nowadays, if you have a little sniffle or whatever, if you don't have like known allergies, they're kind of more strict at school. And I don't want my boys to miss any more time. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to pick them up. So on Sunday, I woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm not. I think it was like 4:00 in the morning on Sunday. And I was like, that's not happening. I'm not going to work. And I was just like, let's go get tested. So then it was like a whole thing because like not that I couldn't figure it out, but actually it turned out that Walgreens was having an issue with their app because sorry, I didn't mean to push you. I am a Walgreens, sorry. I'm trying not to edit this. I am a Walgreens customer. So I was like, let's just get it done. Let's get it done at Walgreens. Anyway, so they were having problems with their app. So I wasn't able to get an appointment like I had been trying. They had appointments. So on the app, I could see that they had appointments all day. So I started at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they had like a 10:30, all the way in 20-minute intervals or something like that, all the way to 4:15. And I couldn't get one because I couldn't get far enough in the app to get an appointment. So I was like, I thought I had booked one. So I booked the one at 10:30. But I never got to finish, and it said there was technical difficulties. So then I called, and then they were like, oh yeah, why don't you just come by? Now this is a recording. This is not a live person. So they were like, if you didn't get your confirmation email, still go at your appointed time and blah, 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 blah. We can walk you through, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. So I show up at 10 o'clock in the drive-thru, and the girl's like, yeah, so if you don't have an appointment, I can't help you. And I'm like, I cannot get to the appointment because every time I get to a certain point, it tells me that, I can't get an appointment. Or it doesn't let me go any further. And she goes, what? And I tell her, and I actually pull up the app, and she's like, oh, you have to go to the website. Fine. Went to the website, same exact thing. And I was like, see, out the door, out, the door, out the window of my car. And she goes, oh, well, maybe you have to call the help desk or whatever. I was like, okay, fine. So then mine, it was 10 o'clock. So I was like, they looked like they had a ton of appointments. Even while I was sitting at the drive-thru, they still had 10:30 or what, not 10:30. They had 12:30. So I was like, all right, I literally live 2 minutes away from Walgreens. So I go to the Walgreens parking lot, and I call. And basically what they told me is that they were having technical difficulties with the app and with Android, the app on Android, which I've never had issues before. So as the girl was talking, the second girl comes on, the first girl was like, yeah, maybe you can get tech support. So she puts me on the tech support. The tech support girl comes on. She's super cool. And I'm trying not to lose my cool because I'm just frustrated. And I'm not getting any answers. The girl at the drive-thru really annoyed me because she was just super annoying. She wasn't helpful. She was just like, yeah, I can't do anything. I can't help you. I can't help you. The only thing she told me was to call. And I was like, okay, fine. So I guess she was a little bit helpful. Silver lining, right? I'm always silver lining. Anyway, so I'm talking to the tech lady or girl, and she was like, man, this really sucks. She was just like, yeah, we are having technical difficulties. She was just like, oh, maybe you're going to have someone do it for you. And I was like, perfect. And it didn't even dawn on me because I thought it was just something I could, easily fix. So, I call my boyfriend. He has an iPhone. So I was just like, babe. And so we walked through everything, and he was able to book the appointment for me on his phone. Because I don't have a laptop. I don't have a tablet. I just have my phone. I have a Galaxy 20 5G, 20, a Galaxy Note 20 5G Ultra or something like that. Something like that. So anyway, he was able to book my appointment, and the last appointment he got me was 4:15. Okay, so we're all happy. Everything's good. They were like, okay, we're going to send you an email. They sent me an email. I opened the email. So mind you, this is the 15th. Okay. I opened the email, and I was just like, so I go, okay, cool. They sent me the email. So I'm opening up. And I'm like, babe. He's like, what? I was like, you booked it for the 22nd. He was like, who the heck books like that far ahead for a COVID test? I was like, I don't know, maybe people traveling. I was like, but you booked the wrong date. He was like, oh shit, So he has to go back in because well, he tries to go back in. And then I was like, let me just see if I can follow the link through the email. So, because it was like, do you want to reschedule, blah, blah, blah. So I followed the link and I was actually able to change my appointment through the link. I just wasn't able to initially book it. So whatever. So he was just like, oh my God, did it work? I was like, yes. He was like, okay. So, now, mind you, I was not happy. So I'm laughing now because it's fine now, obviously. But I was like yelling. I was not yelling at him because I didn't want him to get frustrated because he's like me and, he gets mad for me and then he gets frustrated and nothing gets done, right? So I was just trying to keep calm and I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll fix it. Because when I told him it was the 22nd, he flipped out. He was so upset at himself. And I was like, babe, like, no, I got it. Like, I was able to fix it like super quick. So that worked out that he didn't like have a craze, like, he gets road rage. So anyway, but he was he was at home. He wasn't with me. So, because this was Sunday, this was now, early Sunday, like 10:40 or something by the time I had everything settled out. So mind you, when I first got there were still a couple appointments. And then by the time I left, I had like the last appointment, which was 4:15. So I was like, all right, well, nothing else to do. Let me go home. So at this point now, I had felt a little warm. Okay. And I had a serious cough. Like I'm saying serious because I was like on the phone with him, walking him through, giving him my information so that he could enter it on the website via his phone. But then I was having these coughing fits. So like it took a little bit longer to get done because I would have to pause to cough and just, just try and like get myself together. And him not, he filled out most of it because obviously he knows a lot of it, birthday and all that good stuff, all that stuff, email. So anyway, so he was able to fill out most of it, but some of it he needed from me, like insurance card stuff and stuff like that. So anyway, I got the appointment at 4:15. This is a note, 4:15 on a Sunday. Okay. So, and they were like, okay, when you get the test, you'll get the test results back in like an hour to an hour and a half. They were like, if you're positive, we'll call you. If not, we'll just email you. So then I'm like, all right, cool. Hopefully I'm not positive and it's just a cold because I don't get sick really, knock on wood. I mean, whatever, but I really just don't get sick. Like I haven't been sick in like 2 or 3 years. And when I say sick, I mean like my cure for sick is literally a gallon of orange juice and then I'm good to go the next day. Like seriously, I'm not kidding when I say I don't get sick. So I've never, like I had to go, like before this on Saturday night, I didn't look because I didn't know what it was and I thought it was just a cough or whatever. I went to the store and I was like, I don't even know what cough medicine to get, like, because I have high blood pressure, so I can't get all the kind of cough medicines. Anyway, so like I said, I don't get sick really, and this kind of really took me by surprise because when I do get sick, the cough is the last thing I get. When I develop a cough is when I'm getting over a cold. So to have it at the front of being sick, I kind of knew something was up, but I wasn't sure. Then everyone was like, no, it's allergies. Allergies are really bad this year. And I'm like, I'm 44 years old. Shoot, am I 44? Crap. Okay, so I'm 44. Wait. Don't you hate when I do that? Yes, I'm 44. So I'm like, I'm 44 years old and obviously things can develop, but I just don't think that's my life. I just don't think that I'm going to develop allergies this late in life. Anyway, so I go home. It's now, I don't know, it's funny because work was trying to figure out if I was going to be able to make it in on Monday because, I told them I really wasn't feeling good. I had this cough, but I just thought it was a cough, blah, blah, blah. Because like I said, I had running like very low temperature, like 99.8 or something like that. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just keep watching it, pounding the orange juice. Oh, I forgot. I had a super sore throat. It was basically from the coughing, the sore throat happened. I kept my sense of smell and taste, so I didn't lose any of that. I didn't have an appetite really, but I didn't lose any of those senses. Anyway, so now it's about 5:30. I get the call and I'm like, no. Like, I remember the pharmacist, and I recognize the number because I have it saved in my phone. The pharmacy number. And I looked up and I was like, oh, like that. Like, that's how I answered the phone. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, like that. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, so what's next? Like, I don't know. So he was like, okay, you have to call your doctor. And I was like, it's Sunday. And he was like, oh, maybe they have on call. I was like, oh, duh, obviously, right? I didn't think about it. So he's like, this is the medicine that we're prescribing now, that most people are prescribing, call. And I said, look, I'm a Walgreens customer. Can you look me up? Because I take literally 10 different forms of medication in a day because I don't know if I told you guys, I didn't tell you what it was, but I know I told you that I do have a chronic illness, so that I do take medicine for, and if I'm not on that medicine, it's really bad. Not instantly, but if I'm off that medicine for more than a week, it is going to be horrible. And then it takes about 2 weeks to get it back in your system regularly. So I had to take this medicine every day. But anyway, I take a bunch of other medicines for other issues that I have. Anyway, so he was like, I was like, can I use this medicine that you're talking about with all my other medicines? He's like, oh, let me just check. He was like, okay, so you can't take this one medicine. I was like, all right, okay. So he was like, all right. So he's like, call your doctor, get them to send over the script, blah, blah, blah. So now this is like I don't know. I think I said like 5:15 or something like that. So I immediately call my doctor. I call my boyfriend first, obviously. And I was like, you've got to call me back, So I call him. I talk to him. I cried for like 5 minutes. And then I was just like, no, it's fine. It's just a cough, right? Because at that point, it was a cough, but it wasn't as bad as it was gonna get. Okay. So I call the doctor, and the doctor calls me back like within 5 minutes, and we're like, okay. And I told her what the pharmacist said that they've been prescribing. She was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. She goes, I see all your medications. We're not doing that. We're going to do this. So I was like, cool. And she was like, all right. I've been going to this doctor's office for a while, and this is not one of the doctors I normally see, but I've been at that practice for a while. So anyway, so she's like, I'm going to give you steroids. And she goes, how does your chest feel? I was like, it gets tight. The coughing was making my chest really, really, really tight. And side note, I don't think I've ever told you guys this, but I have heart issues. So any tightness in the chest, obviously freaks me out. And so she was like, all right, let's get you an inhaler and let's get you these steroids. Okay. So I'm like, cool. I was just like, yeah. She was like, because that medication that the pharmacist was telling me about is too new, and I don't want it to be too new medication with all the medications that you take. I said, okay, cool. I trust you. Let's go for it. So, because she was like, you don't have a super high temperature, and, I'm talking to her, so clearly I can talk at this point. I keep saying that because I'm just prefacing that because this is now basically the third day of symptoms. Okay. So, She was just like, there's one of two ways this can go. She goes, in another 2 days, it could go worse, or you could start feeling so much better. She goes, clearly, if you feel worse, you need to contact the office. And if it's really, really bad, just bypass that and get to the hospital. I said, great, wonderful. I'm like, freaking A. This is like, my luck. It's going to go to the worst. She goes, I don't think so, because most people who do get to the bad, start really, really bad, and kind of like by the time they test positive, they're like, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation. She goes, it doesn't sound like you have shortness of breath. I said, I don't. She said, great. She goes, I was like, only when I get into these coughing fits. I say coughing fits because I'm coughing to the point where it's producing some stuff, but not to be graphic, but it's just prolonged, like it keeps, it's bad. Anyway, so she prescribes me the stuff. She sends it in. She goes, cool, it will be there. So mind you, like I said, this is Sunday. Now this is probably around 5:45. The pharmacy sends me a text, hey, your medication's ready. Come pick it up, okay? So I'm like, cool. Like I said, I'm right around the corner. I get my clothes back on. I jump in my car. By the time I get there, pharmacy closes at 6 o'clock. Who's pissed off? I'm pissed off. So the funny thing is, don't play. So I drive us to the pharmacy, and I'm like, so by the time I get there, I want to say, after getting dressed, obviously going to the bathroom, put on, like, I just kind of basically, to be quite honest, I, ran out the house kind of deal. But, after I talked to the doctor and she called it in, and I called my boyfriend back again and tell him about that, blah, blah, blah. But then they were still processing the thing. So I didn't get the text right away, but they didn't, it was too close to the time anyway. So by the time I got there, it was like 6:15. So I roll up to the thing and I'm like, what? Like, why the hell did they tell me to come get it if it literally was closing at that minute, right? He should have called me back and said, hey, do you want us to send this to a 24-hour? Do you want us to send it somewhere else? Because we're closing in 5 minutes unless you want to leave, right? Something, whatever. So I see the pharmacist, no joke. I'm in my car at the drive-thru. I see the pharmacist sitting on the chair, and he has the sign up, so it's blocking most of the view. And I'm sitting there, and I start ringing the bell. I press a little button. I literally see the pharmacist get up and kind of like duck and sneak away, thinking that I'm gonna go away. So I like open my car door and bang down the window. And it took him like, a second to obviously realize that I don't care. I want to talk to you. And he goes, oh, I don't have a register right now. I said, you can still talk to me though. Don't act like you don't see me. I mean, he has like the phone to pick up, but he was like trying to hide out. So I said to him, I go, look, I know you're closed now, but I need you to transfer this prescription to another pharmacy, to one that's 24 hours or open late, and I will go pick it up there. And he goes, oh, if you just call that pharmacy that's 24 hours, they'll have it ready. So I was like, which one's the closest one? It used to be very close, and then, which was right down the street from a hospital. So I don't know when it turned into not being 24 hours, but anyway, it got sent. The next closest one, I went to that one. I picked it up, and it was an inhaler, and it was steroids. Now, I don't smoke. I've never smoked. And my parents always said, don't smoke. So I honestly did not, my body was rejecting the inhaling part of smoking. So of inhaling anything foreign. So, I wasn't able to use the inhaler right away. And of course, there's instructions on how to do it in the book. But I was just like, look, I can't function and think about how to do this right now. So I called my mom. My mom's a nurse. And I was like, Mom, I don't know how to use this inhaler. And so she was like walking me through the breathing. Anyway, basically, if I wanted to take up smoking now, I could because I'm a pro at it. Anyway, I won't. So I got home from that whole excursion because now that was like a town and a half over, because my town is humongous. So it was like a town and a half over. And by the time I got home, it was close to 8. So I had no appetite, but, once I told my parents and obviously my mom and stuff, they were like, my mom's like, please make sure you eat with the medicine. You need to eat. You need to eat. You need to eat. I'm like, I don't feel like eating. So anyway, I stopped and I got McDonald's, which was like literally, I think I took like 2 bites of like regular cheeseburger and like had, I think I don't know if I got an iced coffee. I can't remember if it was iced coffee or frappe. Anyway, I didn't finish anything anyway. So I got home, immediately started the steroids, and my mom taught me how to do, well, I thought I did the inhaler right, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling the effects of it. Like, it's not that it's a rescue inhaler, but it's supposed to alleviate, and I just know that I was like, this is just sitting in my mouth. Like, I am not breathing this in, basically. So the next morning, I couldn't sleep that night. So Sunday night, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't I couldn't physically sleep. Like, I had to sit up. And as soon as I fell asleep, I was woken up by the coughing. And like I said, the inhaler didn't work that first night because I didn't know how to really work it, even though I read through the instructions, but I just couldn't figure it out. So, and, as soon as I kind of slumped over because I was, I was sitting up just to stay comfortable in bed because I really couldn't lay down. I would, my throat would get dry and I would start coughing and everything else. So it was pretty bad. Like, especially because I guess I don't, I haven't been sick in a while. So, but it was like Monday and Tuesday were the worst 2 days of it, because the coughing was so intense and the tightness of my chest was so jarring. And then I had a little bit, chills. And like I said, I was running a low fever then, but my temp got up to like 100.4. And then like the highest, it was like 100.8, not 108, but 100.8. So, I basically was just kind of sitting around because I couldn't lay down. So I was just kind of sitting up in bed. I did a lot of TV, like phone watching, like Netflix, because I couldn't even diamond paint. Now that was, I want to say probably like Wednesday afternoon, I started feeling a little bit better. So that was good. So that felt like great because that was like day 4 or something like that. And that was the day I decided, I'm sorry. I think I decided on Tuesday afternoon that I wanted to braid my hair. I was like, hell, I can't go back to work until Friday anyway. I might as well do this. When am I ever going to have this much time off? So, except for when I go on vacation. And when I go on vacation, I'm going to have my hair done before I go on vacation. So I started braiding my hair, and then I decided that I was going to braid my hair really small. Like, the braids are really small. I'll take some nice picture in a little. Maybe, we haven't been out, obviously, because this was just last week. But maybe I'll get fake dressed up and you put some makeup on and take a photo. Anyway, so this whole time, I'm not seeing my kids. I'm not seeing my boyfriend. We talked on Skype and FaceTime with the boys, so, I got through that because that was very hard, not being able to see them. But in the midst of all of this, I was braiding and I was watching, there was a couple of things I was watching. I was watching Versailles, which is on Netflix. I believe it was like a BBC show originally, or a Canadian show originally, but I was watching that and I like that show. I've watched it before. It's only 3 seasons. I wish it was so much more because I love the characters. I love the actors. But I got into the Johnny Depp trial. So the first, I kind of touched on it though, like before I was even sick, because it's been going on for a couple of weeks now. But obviously I'm at work, so I'm not watching everything, and I, definitely not back watching the replays or anything like that. I was just kind of, some of the replays, yes, but like I wasn't watching all of it. But then, when you're home and you're basically, I can't go anywhere. I didn't go anywhere. The whole week, I didn't go anywhere. I had anything I needed delivered, or my boyfriend brought stuff in. I stayed in the kitchen the one time he brought my stuff in, and he wore a mask. I was all the way on the other side of the room. He brought the stuff in for me and he left. We didn't get even, we were totally across the room. Which was sad because I hate seeing him, but not being able to, touch him, kiss him, hug him, all that good stuff. So anyway, that was hard, not being able to see anyone. But like I was saying before, I was watching the Johnny Depp trial and it was really good. That sounds weird. Not good. It's just, like the trial itself is very interesting. So, hold on. So, yeah. So, like I said, the trial itself is very interesting. So I was watching it, and originally I was just watching the live feed, and then I'm like, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know why they're objecting. I don't know, like, what it means that they're objecting, sustained, overruled. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously I can get that part. I've watched Law and Order. But, I just wasn't following enough to understand, and I was, like, interested in it. So I found this YouTuber. I know, there's no way you guys don't know about her now because she's a lawyer. And she is doing commentating on the trial. Her name is Emily D. Baker. And she is so funny. She is my kind of chick. And I watched her do the commentating, which was good because it was, obviously she's a lawyer, so she's not putting it in layman's terms or anything like that, but she can relate it to us who are not in, our lay people. We're not in the field. So I find her super interesting. She's, like I said, she's my kind of gal. And so I was watching her. So like I said, I've been watching her to watch the trial to understand it. I shouldn't say understand it because it's not like I really understand it, but to watch it and understand better what's going on with someone who can tell me in like little side notes of what this means and what that like football, like what that means when another lawyer says this or that and everything. So anyway, I've been watching the trial. I have been, I'm going to honestly say I'm a Johnny Depp fan. I think, I'm not a juror, so I don't care. This is just my opinion. I honestly think they abuse each other. Okay. Which clearly is not good in any way. Verbally, physically, and mentally abusing someone is not good. But I do not think that it was just one-sided. I definitely don't think, he doesn't seem like the aggressor. I feel like, you know, this is what I think. I feel like he has way more to lose by being abusive to her. And I also feel like, you know, she could push those buttons, you know, and kind of have kind of like the upper hand, because, you know, she's obviously, you know, she's a female, and it could go either way. Like, either we believe her story or we don't. But what the heck? My reasoning for not believing her is the photo evidence. The photo evidence, not even counting the people. The people who are like, yeah, that's not exactly how it was, or, you know, like, yeah, all of her people are like, yeah, she's, you know, she was X, Y, and Z, and all of his people are like, nope, you know, or, you know, but I just feel like he's more relatable, because he's like, yeah, I'm kind of horrible. I do drugs. I've done this. I've done that. You know, like, sometimes I get like this. I'm a wine drinker. I have done coke or whatever. You know, like, he's not saying no, you know. And when she just keeps on, oh no, I didn't hit him. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And it's like, you have audio of her saying, yeah, I hit you, but it wasn't like that. It's like, it just makes me wonder. So I'm team Johnny Depp. But like I said, I do think just by everything I've seen in the trial so far, I feel like they have abused each other. I don't believe that her things are as bad as she says. It just doesn't make sense. You guys have seen this. Okay, you guys might know, might not know. Oh, I finished that section. Let's continue. Oh, there you see, they're like cherry blossoms. It's so pretty. I love this. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna do another mini section. So I do have a light pad underneath this, obviously. I picked this up. Actually, my boyfriend bought this for me, this light pad. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so I really think they have hurt each other, you know, which is obviously sad. But, oh, that's what I was saying. I was saying, listen, you might not know, but I'm a retired makeup artist. There are certain things you can hide with makeup, and there are certain things you cannot. Here are some things you cannot hide with makeup. You cannot hide swelling. Okay? As far as like the erasing of skin because of swelling. Granted, yes, icing it, but you really can't. There's, you know, from what she said that troubled me was, he has these big chunky rings on and he's hitting me. And then the amount of damage that would cause if someone is literally like, bam, like punching you. And, you know, Johnny Depp is not a small guy. She's not a big girl, you know. So the amount of force that she was saying it was happening and how much he was hitting her, the one I'm talking about, I don't know the date or whatever, but the one when she went on the James Corbin show or Corbett show or something like that, I can't remember his name. So then when she said the night before they got into the really bad, you know, that really bad incident, and I'm thinking everyone's has seen the rings that are on his fingers. okay? If he hit her, and the whole thing, his lawyers was like, so you're saying that he hardly takes off those rings. And she goes, I've never seen, I'm paraphrasing, okay, don't quote me. But she basically says, I've never seen him without the rings. So he's wearing them all the time. So while he's beating you in the face, and hitting you, and the next day you were able to cover up with makeup, swelling and bruising, and go on a show. And she said something about this is what I was like, no. She says that in order to camouflage the cut that she had on her lip, she used a matte lipstick. Okay, let me tell you, it doesn't matter who makes this matte lipstick. A matte lipstick on, first of all, any kind of lipstick, on broken skin, the color is not going to stay on the skin because the skin is bruised, because depending on the degree of when of time, degree of time, the amount of time that's passed, the skin might be bruised and kind of more oily or shiny, or what is that called? It's just, I don't want to say, it sounds horrible, but weeping, like this, the skin might be weeping. And it just behaves differently. And lip skin is very sensitive. And to say that she then put a red matte lip onto a cut lip is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. And to say also that she was able to combat that swelling with ice enough to be on national television, HD television, and no one's seeing it. First of all, if someone's hitting you that bad and you're getting hit in the face and he's wearing these rings, how are you not going to get cuts or lacerations on your face? Okay. Even if the rings were rounded, you would still get a break in the skin where like the capillaries of the skin would be broken. And that's super hard to fix and to cover. And in HD, okay. And then, like I said, makeup cannot cover texture. So everyone knows, there are ways to kind of mask it for pictures, for non-moving pictures, okay? But not to, for HD TV. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. And I'm sure anyone who is a makeup artist has gone back and watched her in that on that show, and there's just no way. And not only that, think about, even if you're taking painkillers, because mind you, if you've gotten beaten up like that, you're in pain, okay? And like I said, I'm not saying that I think they haven't hit each other, or he hasn't hit her, or she hasn't hit him. I don't think the extent was what she was saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much it was. I just, but, to me, it's like, that's a lot of us. That's a big stretch of truth, is what I'm saying. So when she said that she was able to cover it up, I am very sus about that, because I just don't think you can cover. You cannot cover, I should just say it like that. You cannot cover swelling. Okay, you can disguise it a little bit, but not where she was moving around like that, where they're getting her at different angles. It's just very sus. And then another thing is, like I said, even if you're taking pain pills for, you wouldn't be able to move your face naturally. You would, even with painkillers, unless these were like numbing painkillers, where then you couldn't be able to talk properly, and you would probably have other muscle issues. As far as, it's not like it just goes, like pain blockers don't just go to the one area. It kind of relaxes your whole body. So sitting up straight might be hard, and moving your neck might be difficult. And speaking, your whole face is moving when you're speaking. You're using a lot of muscles. And she would have been wincing a lot more, even with pain management, because pain management can only do so much for so long. And if she's taking the amount of pain medication that I think you would need to take in order to function the next day after being beat that bad, I don't think she'd be able to do an interview. Okay. But I think the most striking thing for me is, if you're swollen, you can't hide swelling. Like, you can't, not with makeup, and not with HD TV that we have going now. And maybe it wasn't HD because this was a couple of years back. So, like I said, I'm not disputing the fact that they hurt each other. I'm just saying, it's not, I don't think it was at the extent. And my problem was, when she says, there's a couple of times when they were talking about pictures that she took. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking that if he did hit you as hard as you were saying he hit you, you would have a lot more going on with your face. Now, I did remember her saying that she took some of these photos not right after it happened. Like, she said, within a week or a couple of days after. So, body is very special, and it can start healing itself, quite, rapidly, if not super rapid, not rapidly enough to be the next day. But within a week, you can start getting changes of your, skin, So, I think if she said that she took those a couple of days later, maybe. But even a couple of days would not have healed the skin. And to me, literally, those photos honestly looked like she had bags under her eyes from lack of sleep. To me, it did not look like those were two black eyes, because the blackness was only underneath her eyes. I didn't see any swelling or bruising or broken capillaries or blistered skin or stuff like that around her whole eye. I just saw it at the bottom. That's what I saw. Like I said, I'm not in a courtroom. I'm not a juror. I'm not, a lawyer. I'm not anything. I'm just saying what I saw, and being a makeup artist, what I understand makeup can do. Corrective, concealing makeup. If you wanted to make it look worse, of course you can make a bruise look worse. Or, I'm saying, of course you can make real skin look bruised, and you can make real skin look cut. But if you want to conceal real skin in order to make it look knots, very hard to do. Unless you are a trained makeup artist. And even so, we're not wizards. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a case where you're going to be able to, defy the body. Like, as far as for me, define the body, when I'm saying that, is like the swelling part of it. You can't get the swelling down with makeup. And a lot of her witnesses, like, aren't friends of hers anymore. They don't talk anymore. Or, I guess another thing that really bothered me about the trial is like there were certain like when they had her on the stand and I think it was Johnny Depp's side, but Camilla, I can't remember her name. She's like going to be super popular after this trial though, for sure. Um his lawyer was like, I think she like caught her in a lie, and I believe it was a recording of her deposition. They caught it in a lie, and like it was cool because Johnny, like he's my, next door neighbor and friend, but like Johnny's lawyer didn't like, she kind of let it happen and let the jurors see that it happened. That like, hey, she's lying, or I think it was a deposition, and she said something and kind of caught herself and was like kind of grabbed her face, like, oh crap, I just said that out loud. You know what I mean? Under oath and blah blah blah. And then of course, she then backtracked everything and was like, oh, that's not actually what I said or mean or meant to say, or, it was, blah, 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 blah. I think, so today, is Tuesday. I don't know when I'm going to get this up. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm actually off tomorrow when I'm going to be doing my nails. So, I just, it's a mess. I don't know. Well, actually, like I said, I've been watching Emily D. Baker. Just look her up. I'm not even going to, she doesn't need me to link her channel because I'm sure if you just go to the homepage of YouTube, she's guarantee she's, on the homepage if YouTube still does that, because she live streams the court and she talks through the proceedings in a lower voice, so you can still hear it, but she commentates, I should say. So Emily D. Baker, she's amazing, so she does curse, so and it's not legal advice, it's just her watching the trial and being able to tell us about it, because like I said, she is a trial lawyer. She has purple hair and I love it. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been watching the Johnny Depp trial and battling COVID. I went back to work so originally I was able to go back to work, but I had to I had to double mask and continuously wear the mask at work. But I have been wearing a mask at my job since we went back in 2020, in June of 2020. We are very religious with the mask wearing in my store. I'm going to say my store because I know for a fact other locations of my company do not wear as much as we do, and my coworkers were all vaccinated. But we wear it because, whatever, I have my existing medical stuff. One of my other coworkers, he's concerned for his parents, and my other coworker, she wears it even though, like I said, we're all vaccinated. But we work in the public, and I want to say that in my location, the neighborhood or neighborhooding, the neighborhoods around, some of the customers from the neighborhood are not really, either for it or understand what the masks can do, understand what the vaccination does, is, uninformed and what have you. And very early on, I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep my mask on, even if my company says I could take it off. I basically just do not trust the public. So anyway, I double mask at work, and I don't since, really only since Monday, I didn't need to, but I have been, since I came, because I got back on Saturday to work. But, you know, at this point now, I'm no longer contagious. I don't really have a cough. Like, as I've been talking, I think I might have, if I did already cut down some of this, I paused the video maybe 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 times to kind of clear my throat. One, but if I was at work, I would just be clearing my throat kind of thing. And like I said, I'm wearing the mask all day. But a lot of people are like, oh, do you still have to wear it? I'm like, no, honestly, I don't think we have to wear it anymore. I know some people do not wear it at other locations, but like I said, the demographic in my location or surrounding my location, I don't feel like ever really felt like it was important to get vaccinated or didn't, whatever. I work in the public. I'd rather just wear a mask because just to be completely clear, I don't trust people. Because I remember when it was kind of like early, like maybe late last year, like fall time, I think is when we were able to not have to mask. If you were like, oh, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask inside. People would like come in, look at the door sign, and like try and figure out their whole life in like 5 seconds, because it was like, if you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask. If you don't have a mask, and you know, please ask for a mask because we'll, give you one, and our, staff is going to be wearing masks or whatever. And people will literally have their whole life like flash before them as they're walking up to the door, because mine is, we're not in a mall or anything, we're a storefront. So we'll be thinking about their whole life, like trying to figure out if they can come in without a mask. And it's like, if you have to think that hard, or you have to read that sign so hard, I don't really think you're vaccinated. I don't trust that you are, because if you're vaccinated, you can go in. You don't have to second guess it, because that was like the first sentence. If you're vaccinated, it's up to you. We strongly suggest it. And then it switched back again to like, you have to, and then it switched back again. Sorry, someone just parked and... Actually, you know what? This might be a good time to kind of wrap up, because I'm in the middle of this section, but I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. I love her. Let me turn off the light so maybe you guys can see a little bit better. Hold on. So, this is a good place to stop the video, because it's like an hour and I'm going to probably trim a little bit off. I think she's lovely. That's her face. I did ABs here that did not come with. I did ABs here. Any yellow in her kimono, I'm going to do with yellow ABs. The only yellow that I didn't do is here on the top part. But see, you could see that it's like shimmery. So this part, this little flower here, and then any other yellow in her kimono is going to be AB. And then I have some... like the center of the kimono, I'm going to put these, and these are from Diamond Dots. So I'm going to put these gold ones right in the center of this brooch right here. Like this area right here is just going to get those. Any of like the W, which is 3861 in the kimono, is going to get an AB. I have certain ones. So what I did is I laid out the, sorry, hold on, the light's moving. I laid out, this is the first time I did this, and this is the way I think I'm going to do it from now on. I'm going to integrate the AB right next to the color that it's going to be replacing. What I would normally do is I'd fill in the normal ones, and at the last ones, I'd be like, okay, this can go with this. But then I would forget sometimes. So like this one, 161 for me is going to be the crystal 793. And they're close in color, and it's only going to be on her kimono. are gonna get those crystals for, substituting the letter 4. And then the same thing with the geisha. This is the B that I was talking about. So these are the 2 colors. These happen to be the same exact, with just this one being the AB. So if you don't know AB, oh God, I can't say it. Aurora Borealis. Oh, I think I did it. I lost a couple. So it's this coating. It's like an iridescent coating, and it just makes everything, it makes them shine a little bit better. And then the K on just a kimono also. That's basically where any green is going to be anyway, is going to be. So that's $9.89, and I'm substituting with a little bit lighter, but it's okay. $9.07. And then I think that's really it for all the substitutions. No, I'm sorry. So this Q, all of the Q, I didn't even, like, because some of this, because, like, maybe there's 4 elsewhere. Like, there's 4 in, like, I don't know, I think up here in the moon. Can't really see. You'll see eventually. And an umbrella, but I didn't want that there. I wanted only in there. So any Q on her robe is going to get an AB, which is 3766 AB. Very cute. And then, let's see. That's it. The last one I did is I showed you this one. So I am substituting a couple, but not too many, because I didn't want it to get out of control. The one thing I don't like doing is doing too many substitutions. And I definitely don't want to say, okay, any Q anywhere is going to get it. So, like, if there was, like, a Q or 4 in the moon, I just really don't want it to do that. I want to be like, okay, just in the kimono, am I going to have any ABs? You can see it right there in the top, like, by her. Those are ABs there. But, like, there's no ABs in the yellow here. But there is in that part. And any of this did not get ABs. Because I'm like, that doesn't need to be an AB. That's part of her. Because that's like any yellow on her. I want that. And then let me see. So far, there's only been 2 crystals there. Right there. And like a little bit above it. And it's like coming off the thing off her hair. So, very pretty. I'm very excited. I'm going to stop for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know below if you guys are watching the Johnny Depp trial. And also, you don't have to if you don't want to, but are you Team Johnny? Team Amber? But just want to reiterate, because, I just make sure there's no misunderstanding. I think they, at some point, both have hurt each other. Physically, mentally, verbally, and which is not okay. But I also don't think it's as bad as she was saying. I'm not there though. I have no idea. I guess I might as well just keep talking and whatchamacallit, and then I'll just edit out what I want when I need to edit out. But oops. I can understand why she didn't seek medical advice or help. I just really wish she did. Why I'm Team Depp is like, I had no idea who she was until the case started. I'm not saying I've never seen her before, but I didn't like her enough, or I wasn't into her enough in her characters or whatever to find out who she was as a person. Like, I had no idea she was an Aquaman. No idea that she was an Aquaman. No idea she was in anything else. When they mentioned that she was in, I think my boyfriend and I, his name is Brad. When Brad and I were talking about it actually yesterday, because I was watching the trial and he was trying to get to bed, so I had to put my headphones in and I kept laughing. Well, I was watching the recap. I just happened to be watching the recap. And I was laughing and I was just like, wait, she was in Pineapple Express? I had no idea. I didn't realize it was her, you know? So she is not well known. And I think, like I said, if you guys haven't been watching, you probably don't know this, but her lawyers and one of their witnesses was like trying to compare her to other actresses and actors in the business that are like her same age. And the names that they were calling out, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what? Like, really? What? They literally said, first of all, I get why they said it, because it was her co-star, but they said Jason Momoa, when I was just like, you cannot compare his career to her career. You can't. I can name only one other thing, and then I just learned about it now. For Amber. Jason Momoa, how many movies, how many shows, Netflix shows, regular shows has he been on? HBO show, like, it's crazy. So I thought that was hilarious. Then they were like Zendaya, and I was like, no. I mean, she's in no, it was Superman. She's in Spider-Man. She's in Dune. She's in so many other movies and so many. She was in like a Disney show or what have you, or I think it was Disney. Show that she had on her own for years. Please stop. And it's just, and she, of course and then they said Chris Pine. I was like, stop it. Chris Pine, first of all, regardless of what else he did, he was in Star Trek, okay? And you might not be a Star Trek fan. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, okay? Huge. I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the shows, all the spin-off shows, all Enterprise, Next Generation, Voyager. I've seen them all. The original, all of them. Okay? I've seen every episode of every Star Trek show. The only one I haven't watched is all of them. Is the newer ones, because they were on streaming apps. They weren't like on just regular TV. So I haven't seen those. I'm sure I will at some point, and then I'll just binge watch them, right? But he was Captain Kirk in Star Trek, the newer movies. He was in Wonder Woman. He's been in so many other movies. When they dropped his name and Jason Momoa and two other I can never say her name. So Wonder Woman, the newer Wonder Woman. When they said her, I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, maybe she was the love interest of Aquaman. Oh, I think, okay, sorry guys. It kind of cut off there. I don't know where I was. But what I'm basically saying is, the trial is horrible for everyone because, I think everyone kind of loses as far as I think they've hurt each other too bad. And dragging it out in the public is horrible for both of them. But let me wrap up now because my phone hates me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know below if you've been watching the show. If you've been watching the trial. If you want to voice your opinion down below about who you believe or what you believe, or if you just want to talk or talk it out, you may. Please, 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 no crazy comments about because in the end, These are people I'm never going to meet. These are people most likely none of you will meet. And it won't make a difference. And like I said multiple times in this video, I think they both hurt each other mentally, physically, and verbally. So there's that. I am for victims speaking out. If you are going to speak out, just like if it's a customer complaining, but if you're gonna speak out about someone hurting you, be as truthful. Do not stretch the truth, because you stretch it and I find out, I do not believe you anymore. Okay, so comment down below. The trial is not over yet, so you guys, if you want to get into it, you can go back and watch Emily's videos. I think day 22 is tomorrow, so you have some videos to go watch, and she's been live streaming all of it. She's very entertaining, and I think she timestamps her videos too. Thanks for watching here. Please, guys, if you're into diamond painting and chit-chatting, subscribe below. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you guys soon, and I hope you enjoyed this WIP and chat. And I hope you got to WIP and chat with me. Okay, bye.